Hi everyone, can you hear me? We are live on Facebook. I'm just checking to see that I can see everyone's messages. Everyone, can you hear me? We are live on Facebook. Okay. I'm still trying to get my bearings. We're doing this a kind of a new way. So every time it comes on, I'm always trying to figure out how to be able to see comments and stuff like that. So Iona's here. Hi, honey. How are you? Okay, so I'm hoping other people can see me too. Hi, Robin. How's it going? Hi, everybody. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Melanie, hi. Hello again. Okay, so, this morning, I had done a short, I came on and I did a short kind of thing about me, falling off my wagon yesterday, because of a lot of emotional stress that happened with the kids and stuff. And so it was really interesting how that played out. So I ended up eating a bag of chips, and I know a lot of you came on. It was so kind of you to come on and comment and say, hey, Muneeza, it's okay. But I don't think I made it clear because I had a guest appearance who's asleep right now. I wasn't able to really get my message through, which is that really there is no guilt, right? There is no guilt. There is no judgment. I mean, I used to be like that. I used to judge myself all the time. I used to be the most guilty person there was, but reached a point where, that's not really something that I feel is necessary. In fact, it detracts from what you really want to do. So I wanted to share that because I want all of you to not have that guilt or judgment on yourselves. Basically shit happens, and it's gonna happen. Life happens. Stuff happens all the time. And, even someone like me who has really great practice, tools, techniques, and strategies to be able to stay on the course, it happens, you come off of it. And, say I already had mangoes cut up in front of me at the point that happened. Maybe I would have eaten them, maybe not. Who knows? But the point is that it happens to everyone. And the reason that I am Linda, hey, how are you? Nora, you joined. Hi. And so Nina's here, Angie's here, Christina's here. Hello, everyone. So fun. So I wanted to just say that when we are struggling and trying to do this on our own, it can be really hard. And today's topic is really about support, because I think support is the one thing that gets missed. And we don't realize how much support we do need when we're doing something new or when we're doing something that's different. And I'll say to anyone, if you're planning to, start a new career or start a garden or do something that you've never done before, you're going to need to figure it out. You're going to need to call for help. You're going to need to look up stuff on the internet. You might call a friend who's done it before, or, what have you. Medical medium protocols and cleanses aren't something that your neighbor does necessarily. We haven't that. I mean, if I had a neighbor who did that, I'd be all on board. It'd be like, hey, let's do this together. Haven't found one yet, but, I'm not, in my mind, it could happen that we have a community living all nearby. Everyone's loves this stuff, is on the healing path, and understands how to eat well. So, when we don't have that, then it can be very disconcerting. It can be very, it means that we can fall off our wagon much more easily. And I remember in the beginning when I started doing all this, it was really hard. I had to make 3 different meals for people. I had no support because nobody I knew back then was doing what I was doing. Nobody suffered the way I did, and nobody was on that path. And I know there's some of you out there also who have been on this path for a long time and feel like you've been the lonely one. Now, while people are waking up all over the world and we have, you know, millions of people reading the books, but not millions of people, there may be millions of people doing the protocols, but they don't really understand. And also a lot of people don't know how to support another person. So you learn how to do that. Like when we're doing the cleanse and launching it, and, you know, I wanted to share with people all the different aspects of what we do in the cleanse, because last time we did it, I got so many of you who were in it came to me and said, you know, if I'd known you had offered all of this, I would have signed up much sooner. Or people said, I heard from my friend that you guys were doing that, but when I read what was on the internet, on your webpage, what you guys were doing, it didn't all, like, you didn't capture all that. So we tried to capture it a little bit more this time, but again, it's like this qualitative thing that's hard to describe. And like, what can I tell you about support? Sometimes people will try to be supportive by saying, oh, well, you know, you fell off your wagon or whatever. You know, it's hard. Like, why don't you just like give it a break? And you're like, wait, that's not what I want. Or someone will say, oh, you know, it's a struggle. So, you know, just don't do it. Or maybe you're just struggling because you're lacking nutrients, or maybe you're struggling because whatever, right? Whatever the reason is. And frankly, sometimes they don't understand what it is and what you really want to achieve. And so having a group of like-minded people who are on the same path or on the same track is so important. Like having that support cannot be underestimated. Honestly, it cannot be, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how you could run into issues. And when you run into an issue, you want to be around people who've maybe done it before or seen that issue before and helped somebody else out before. Or you may meet somebody else in the group who's been through the same kind of issue and they're like, you know, I don't know what to do, but could you help me? And so there's all of those pieces. So so many more of you have jumped on here. Hi, Taryn. Hi, Jean. Hi, Terry. Hello. Iona says, unfortunately, I do judge myself. I had struggled with bulimia and anorexia in my teens and still have guilt when I don't eat very clean. That I can understand, Iona. That's a really hard place to be, and a hard place to come from, because there's a lot of trauma involved in that too. And Linda says, hello. Estelle, hi. Joanna, hey. Christine says, hi, Muneeza. My teeth develop dark spots rapidly. What can I do to stop? I have EBV and jaw shingles. Evalie says, hey again. So, Christine, to answer your question, the dark spots are detox spots, and they can be mercury showing up or detoxing. Are you doing the heavy metal detox? I don't know. But even if you do, you know, a regular detox, they'll pull some metals out, but not to the degree that the heavy metal smoothie will pull it out. So usually dark spots on the teeth can be because of that. And yeah, Iona, I mean, have you done any work with trauma healing? Because bulimia and anorexia are just, first of all, the fact that you can even come out in public and say that is such a big deal. And second of all, if, you know, there are aspects of trauma involved there, and I really highly recommend that you work with somebody or find help for yourself to really work on those parts, because they can make it really easy, much easier. It's not easy ever. PTSD can show up and all those things impact it. So the guilt can come from that, because, you know, you're wanting to do better. And when you don't, then it can be like, oh my God, I'm not doing it right. Joanna says, our new skin cysts detox. I'm doing heavy metal and EBV protocol. New skin cysts can be, it just could be the virus also presenting in a different way. It could, if it's different, it could be a sign of progress. I don't know enough about the history here, and you know, would have to do a deeper reading to give you an exact sort of answer on that. But they can show up in detox, and they can show up and then they can leave also. So all those pieces play into it. So yeah, I wanted to, Iona says, I know I'm a really shy person and never really discuss my struggles with anyone. Hey, honey, you know, there's a lot that you're doing here that's amazing. And you're clearly not shy to come on here. And this is a public space. So I actually commend you for doing that. And if you're signed up for the cleanse, then you're on the right path. I mean, you have so much freaking courage, and I bow down to you, because it takes so much courage to come out and speak about what is not right for you and ask for support and help. And it's a thing that women really struggle with doing. We are such givers, doers, and we don't often ask for the kind of help that we need, because our natures are to please and to support. And when we need support, we feel like somebody else will be displeased by us asking for that support. And it's just how we're wired. And so it's really, really cool. I commend you for coming out with that and sharing. That's really, really brave. And Christine says, thank you. I'm doing heavy metal detox. Will these spots disappear? Yes, they will. They will disappear again. Okay. So Julie, when I take magnesium glycinate in the evening, it makes me have leg cramping pretty bad. When I take it in the morning, it doesn't do it. Why does it do that in the evening? Because in the evening, the nerves are a little bit weaker, and the impact of certain supplements on the nervous system can create certain more symptoms. Are you also, do you get them every night? It's sort of, you want to look deeper. How much are you taking at night? Could you take less at night? Do more in the morning? Things like that can be helpful. Megan says, hi, Muneeza, I'm so happy I caught this. Hey, me too. I always love meeting new people coming on here. I struggle with thyroid issues and PCOS. I found all of this out when my husband and I were trying to conceive. Yes, I know many women do. I'm so looking forward to this cleanse and connecting with this community. I've been on protocols for 6 months. Whoa, that's amazing. You're signed up for the cleanse. That's so great. Yeah, thyroid issues and PCOS do show up when people are trying to conceive, because then you can't conceive and then you figure out what's wrong. So again, that's an Epstein-Barr issue that Anthony's written about extensively in his first book. I'm sure you know it. And the fact that you've been on supplements and protocols for 6 months is really great. I look forward to supporting you further with that. Habime, hey, how are you? For someone who gets rashes taking dulse, how do we introduce it so they can tolerate it? I would do less. I would start with, you get those veggie caps, and you could take the flakes and just put them in a veggie cap, or put half veggie cap full and do that and take a really small amount. And the rashes are coming out because it's pulling out metals, and the dermatoxins are getting released and coming up to the skin, and that's what's going on there. Okay, so Iona said, I signed up already. Yay, so happy. Mulaney, this is my second go around on Medical Medium's 28-day cleanse. The first time I had my struggles, but nothing too bad. This time on day 4 and feeling exhausted, having crazy dreams and nightmares. My adrenals are aching, and yes, aching. My back and joint pain is out of control. Oh, honey, I'm sorry to hear that you're actually experiencing such intense symptoms. Have you thought about slowing it down and maybe doing like potatoes in the evening so that you're not having such an experience? That's what I teach about on the intuitive cleanse, is really listening to your intuition and asking your body, what could you do to relieve those symptoms? Because sometimes, there's people I know who won't take a painkiller when they're in excruciating pain. And sometimes it's better just to take the painkiller so that you don't fry out your nerves from the pain. And the nerves when they get that fried out, they take a long time to heal. So sometimes it's better to take the painkiller, which is, it's a drug and it's pharmaceutical. It's fine. That's what it's there for, is to help you alleviate those issues. So same with the cleanse. Like if you're experiencing something that's really intense and does not feel good, you're detoxing too quickly and those toxins are not leaving your body fast enough. And so I recommend that you slow it down. I don't know whether you're on a supplement protocol. The supplements would definitely help you as well. So, and I don't know if you're thinking about doing the intuitive raw cleanse. We will talk about such topics. Like everybody talks about these topics in there, like what's working, what's not working. And me and my 6 admins, we go in, the team goes in, and we're like answering everybody's questions in depth. Like we go more in depth there than we can over here for a lot of reasons. So, you know, I hope that sort of answers your question, but definitely slow down that detox. Okay. So Sharon says true words. Huh. Yeah. So Joanna says, will the cleanse group allow for deeper talks? Yes. It will definitely go deeper talks both on the live call. I mean, the last live call I did for the coaching group, I think I went 2 hours or more. It was a long time that we were going in. Yes, we go much deeper. And even on the Facebook group, Joanna, there were 1,500 comments last time on only one thread. And there were many other threads that we had hundreds and hundreds of comments on. So the point I want to make is that we go deep. We will go back and forth. And if an admin is working with you and they can't help you resolve your issue, they will tag me and I will come in and help resolve the issue. So, you know, we don't let that go. I mean, barring doing a full reading, I do the best that I can. Obviously, my intuition's always working. So there's always that playing into it. But the questions get answered both in Facebook as well as on the live calls. And there's a lot of questions. I mean, I get like 100 questions per call. And then there's people who ask more while they're on the call. So I'm like answering upwards of like sometimes 200 questions on calls and in Facebook, in the group. And yes, we can go much, much deeper there. Julie says, I only take one of them and it only happens with the cramping at night. So if you don't take it, Julie, does it still cramp? I have a sense that it might cramp or might cramp little or less. Have you tried using topical ancient mineral magnesium cream? That can be also super helpful. Jennifer asks, could a CT scan with a dye throw a person into a continual anxiety, panic attacks, palpitations, depression? Have been on a protocol for a year and this is happening. Also had quit smoking a couple of months before this began. So yes, it can, because the dyes contain heavy metals, and all the reactions that you're describing, anxiety, panic, and palpitations, are all signs of heavy metal poisoning, according to Anthony William. So Megan says, hi, Crystal. So you see somebody else on here. Linda says, what steps can I take to give up salt? I put it on celery, fruit, and everything. You put it on celery? Celery has so much salt in it. I get it, though. My mom does that. She salts everything. She salts her fruit, which I find, I used to do it too, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. Healing the adrenals. Focusing on healing the adrenals is going to be a big, so go back and read the chapter on adrenals in the book. You know, there's some really good explanations that Anthony provides in the adrenal fatigue chapter of book 1. Go back and read them and reread it, because there's little gems in there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So really important. So, all right. So Lauren says, thinking about signing up. Hey, you know, if you have any questions, anything I can help you out with, ask away. Melanie says, I'll definitely look into it. Thank you. Didn't even think of slowing it down. I'm on B12 and adrenal support only. Melanie, I would think you would need some more support with the supplements for sure to help you with that. But yeah, slow it down. Joanna says, thanks. I've been wanting to sign up. This sounds great. Thank you. Melanie says, oh my God, I'm having heart palpitations today. So, you know, rest and eat your adrenal snacks. Do you know the 16 adrenal snacks that Anthony talks about? Go eat those, because they really help with that. And up your zinc can also be helpful for that. Christine says, I've had vertigo for 14 years, tinnitus, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, severe neck pain. What do you think this is, and what would going raw help me? Yeah, I mean, all of this is classic, according to Medical Medium in his book, all Epstein-Barr issues. You've got some other issues in there too, like I'm picking up a little bit of maybe shingles. Going raw would help you, but I would advise, if you've never done it before, to go slow. Again, I teach about that in the cleanse. There's going to be all kinds of people there. There's going to be people who have been raw foodies for 4 years, and they're like on it. And there's people there who are just starting. And there's people there who've done it a couple of times before. There's people there with all backgrounds. And that's what we're helping with. We're helping with all the backgrounds there. Seriously, it's going to be really important to intuitively learn how to manage your body. Okay, so Linda says, I will, thank you. If we're not ready to cleanse but need support, would it be good to sign up for the cleanse or wait until ready for the cleanse? Oh my gosh, yes. Last time there were people who bought it, who were in the Facebook group but didn't do it. All they wanted was support. If that's what you want, that's what you get. You can pick and choose what works for you. But it is one way to get support quickly. Like there are people who are on wait lists for a long time. And one of the ways, honestly, I don't want a long wait list. I want to help everybody like now. And actually I used to, and it got me into trouble because I was working all the time, all day long. So obviously we had to push people back, and I feel bad about that. I really do. And so one of the reasons we created these programs is for that purpose, is for the people who want the support, who want it quickly, who want it on a specific issue, may not need a full reading. Here it is. There's ways to get that support here. And so that, that's you can use it for anything you want, Linda. So I hope that answers your question. Iona says, is it a good idea when you have adrenal problems but just feel great having juice until 1 to 2 and then after that eat? Yes, totally. It's still a deep cleanse. You can totally do it. It's not your blood pressure dropping, it's your blood sugar dropping. That's why it happens. Okay. Bime says, Anthony talks about angels a lot. Does the info from Doreen Virtue about angels also ring true? I feel like I have connected with the archangels, and I've connected with Anthony's angels, and I really feel more connected to the essential angels because I feel them more viscerally around me, whereas I've never had that deep a connection with the archangels. I don't know. That's me personally. So that's the way I can answer that question. I hope that helps. Other people feel very connected to the archangels. So, I'm sure there's people on here who talk to the angels every day and do all that. For me personally, I didn't connect as strongly to them. I connected more to the seraphim angels and then to the essential angels. Linda says, thank you. Jordan Cloherty, hello. Is depersonalization a sign of heavy metal poison and anxiety? Yes, a lot, but it's amalgams of metals that are settled in different parts of the brain. So it's not just one metal, it's a blend of them. Clara, hi Clara. Does cilantro pull metals from the brain or only the body? Oh, it pulls it from everywhere. How soon should one see improvements with a child? It depends on how much you're giving them and how much poisoning the child has. So it depends. Not sure. So Esther said, hey Muneeza, hey Esther, my mom suffers from vertigo and last year was diagnosed with prostate cancer. You mean your dad? Could you clarify that? Because is your mom suffering from a reproductive cancer? It wouldn't be prostate if it's your mom. So she fully recovered from cancer, but has vertigo with intense dizziness, headaches, and ringing in the ears. Would you recommend her signing up for the cleanse? It will really help her. And she should also read Medical Medium because it is the background that she needs to heal, because vertigo and the dizziness and ringing in the ears, the tinnitus is all, according to Medical Medium, caused by the Epstein-Barr virus. There's 60 varieties and they can present in so many different ways that it could seem like there's 60 different diseases caused by 60 different bugs. And they are 60 different bugs. They're just varieties of these 60 bugs, and there are mutations on the bugs, and they act completely differently, all the way from being really mild and giving you a backache in your 70s and 80s to giving you, Epstein-Barr can cause certain cancers even as a child. So there's a whole range of them. Okay. Let me know, Esther, because your mom will definitely benefit. Okay. Stephanie Weiss, hi. Recommendations for oxidative stress. Been raw 1 year, still not better. Oxidative stress. How many antioxidant rich foods are you having? Like super, super rich, like spirulina and wild blueberries and certain supplements are super high in antioxidants like CoQ10, and there's a whole bunch of them. So I'm not sure what protocol you're on, Stephanie. I would really recommend consulting with a practitioner to get the protocol down and the supplements down, and then your diet can be really zoned in over there. Okay, so Nina says, can I replace a magnesium supplement with daily magnesium baths as transdermal uptake, or are magnesium baths not enough? Again, it depends on the severity of your issue. I think sometimes lowering the supplement and doing the baths can be helpful. For some people, the baths are enough. For some people, they're not. Try it out and see. There's no harm in it. So check it out. Annette says, hey, Muneeza, lovely flowers in the background. Thank you. I love flowers. I love flowers. I think they're gifts from God. And I mean, they're like fruit, because it's green all around, and then you see a piece of red fruit hanging on a tree and it shines at you from far away. And every bird and animal and deer and humans can all see that from so far away. These are not edible, so no one touches them. If there's a piece of fruit, like if you've ever seen bananas going on a tree and they become really yellow, or mangoes, or like plums or apples or what have you, and you can see them amongst the green. I love that. I love it. Okay, so can nettle leaf tea be consumed every day long term? Yes, it can. What about Anthony's anti-fluoride tea? Do I have to take breaks? No, you don't. You can take them all the time. All right, so Megan says, I stopped taking seizure meds after being on them for epilepsy for 10 years. I went with my intuition and just weaned off. I was also on birth control for 15 years with the exception of being pregnant. How long do you think it takes for the liver to heal? I'm laughing only because I talked about this yesterday, and someone said, well, the liver's taking too long for me. And I said, I hear you. I'm in the same boat. I've had over 140 courses of antibiotics and over 20 courses of steroids in my life. And I've been exposed to DDT a lot when I was a little girl. And I feel like I'm still detoxing some of that stuff. It's still deeply buried and it's coming out slowly, but it's not fully out, but it's getting there. Okay. Bettina. Hi, Bettina. Can you give a first aid kit for hay fever? Hay fever it's an allergic reaction to high levels of strep and possibly mold in the body. So I would listen to the mold show and do some of the steps that he recommends in there. And for strep, I would definitely bring in curcumin, thyme, lemon balm, all the strep herbs. That would be helpful. Okay, so Jordan, you're welcome. Roga Serna, my sister keeps gaining weight and feels really tired. She's had a thyroid test and was told that the thyroid was fine. Could the thyroid test be wrong? Yeah, it could be. My thyroid test always came back normal. And I know I had thyroid stuff going on because Anthony told me I did. So, just that. She's definitely got some EBV stuff going on, your sister. So, you might want to get her on the protocols if she's open to it. Lauren says, what's recommended for improved fertility advice and to ovulate? If you're not ovulating, it's usually a viral issue. And improved fertility, you can do a lot of things. Have you read the fertility chapter in Anthony's Life-Changing Foods book? It's his second book. I would do that. That's a really great chapter to get started. And to come off of all the unforgiving four, like to detox the unforgiving four, which he says are heavy metals, pesticides, radiation, and viral toxins. Those are the four that create most of the fertility issues. Adding in doing a regular like antiviral protocol would be helpful. And then adding in the teas, like red raspberry leaf tea, nettle leaf tea, things like that would be super helpful to get it going. But coming off of all the no foods also is super critical. And no eggs. For fertility, you've got to come off of eggs. Eggs are the worst thing for creating infertility. Okay. Gori. Hi, Gori. Please advise things for asthma and allergies. It can be Epstein-Barr and strep together, according to Medical Medium. So I would definitely get on to those protocols. Like look up, listen to his show on allergies, listen to his show on strep, listen to his shows on Epstein-Barr, and especially the shows on strep and allergies. You can do almost exactly what he recommends in there, which is start curcumin, start reishi, start thyme, lemon balm. All those things are super important. Get the lung support going. On his website, he's got a directory of supplements. You can go and look in there for things for breathing support, lung support, and anti-strep stuff. So if you really would like a protocol, things like that. I mean, I can recommend things generally, but I suffered with asthma and allergies my whole life, and I would not have figured out the exact protocol. I got myself a lot better on my own, but it's a process. So I would really recommend going slow and researching, reading, learning more information, read Life-Changing Foods, or get the electronic copy, because you can get a lot of like hits on individual words for symptoms and find those foods that can really help you. Okay. I hope that helps, Gory. Okay, Michelle, is intense hunger a part of detox? It shouldn't be. If you're eating, you shouldn't be hungry, but sometimes it can happen. If you're getting intensely hungry, you should eat more calories. Your body's needing calories to help you heal, but good calories from, fruit and potatoes and things like that. Gory says, is cacao powder, coconut milk yogurt allowed on the cleanse? We tend to keep away from the cacao powder. I do have one recipe with some cacao in it. Cacao, especially when it's raw, creates a neurotoxin. And that's why many people I know who've got sensitive nervous systems can't even take a bite of it because they get completely like that. Like it's crazy. Coconut milk and yogurt is a fermented coconut milk. Yes, I even give you recipes in there on how to make your own coconut milk. The yogurt, not as much. If you're fermenting it, no. We don't have any fermented foods allowed because fermentation is a process of decay, and the decay, don't want bacteria that cause decay and death coming into you. But you can substitute it with like lemon juice just to get that tart effect, and it tastes like yogurt. But that would be okay. Lauren says, how do you use apple cider vinegar without browning, rotting your teeth? You mean to drink or to brush with? I mean, I don't recommend using it in your mouth at all. It's again a fermented product and not recommended for that reason. Because it does rot. It's a bacteria of death and decay, so you don't want to bring that in. Esther said she had stage 2 colon cancer. Yeah, it would definitely help her, but as some education would be involved in the cleanse would be helpful. I mean, if she's doing it on her own, like if you can do it with her or she has that extra support from family, that would also be super helpful for her. Okay, Mirette. I'm not sure if I said your name right. I've never seen that name before, so it's unusual. What advice do you have for one who wants to start up the medical medium diet, but gets anaphylaxis, allergic reactions, and severe stomach problems from basically all foods? I've been unable to eat for 1.5 years and currently fed by IV nutrition going directly into my heart and bloodstream. Also, I've scheduled an appointment with you in March 2018 and can't wait. Oh my goodness. Would love to be able to do something in the meantime. Only potatoes, cucumbers, salad leaves, and avocados are okay for me now. Celery makes my throat swell up. It's a really good question. So we're technically not allergic to actual foods like celery and fruits and vegetables. But what happens is that they create such a die-off and healing reaction in the body, and you react to the die-off, and that's why celery even makes your throat swell up, because some people have these reactions because they're just so full of those toxins and viral toxins. And there's somebody I know who could just eat blueberries. She couldn't eat anything else. And there's people I know who are allergic to wild blueberries, literally like have an anaphylactic reaction to them. So there's people with all kinds of issues, and you can still heal. You can still heal because some of these foods that you have, like the ones you can take, that's really lucky. Potatoes, cucumbers, salad leaves, and avocados that you can have, those are amazing foods to start your healing with. So I wouldn't be discouraged. You can just start there and start to bring in some key supplements like some basic zinc and B12, and that was a good place to start. Paige says, what about skin looking like it ages suddenly from going vegan? It's aging from all the toxins that you're letting go of. Okay, so Charlotte says, hi, Muneeza. Hey, Charlotte. Jordan says, I have had depersonalization for over a year, and recently it's been chronic for 1.5 to 2 months. I've done the heavy metal detox Anthony talks about since 2016. I take B12, spirulina, pharmagabin, zinc, blah, 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 blah. Do you recommend anything else? Jordan, just for really like a lot of legal reasons, I'm not able to recommend any supplements here. Like I can recommend just really general things for the immune system, but if you'd like a specific in-depth consult, I would recommend booking one or working with another practitioner, because this requires a deeper reading. Unfortunately, here I'm not able to do that. And I think that in the cleanse, I could go a little bit deeper, but the deepest way to get a full-on protocol for yourself to really turn that around would be to consult with someone. Okay, Michelle, is tonsillitis caused by strep? Yes, it is. What can you do for it? You can do all the strep herbs that Anthony talks about. So listen to the strep show. So eat high vitamin C, zinc, silver, all of those things are super helpful. Irene says, would you recommend Ambaya Gold for older children to detox from heavy metals? It's possible to use that. Yeah, it is. Diane Nielsen says, can you please cast light on popular water jugs with filters like Daffy and Brita? I know that Berkey is recommended, but our water is relatively pure here in Denmark, so that might be overkill. Are the charcoal filters any good or actually more dangerous? I don't recommend Daffy or Brita. I think running your, you don't know what toxins are in your water, and you don't know what they pick up from the pipes that come in. So I would recommend going through a Berkey regardless, because even if it's like the best kind of metal, the metal still leaches a little bit into the water. So I recommend still, if I lived in Denmark, I would still, and if I traveled to Denmark, I'd bring my Berkey water filter, my travel filter with me. Okay. All right, Irene says, what's the best supplements to increase mental clarity and improve memory? Actually, more foods are helpful with that, Irene, than supplements. I think that wild blueberries done in like 3 to 4 cups a day are super powerful for the memory and for cognitive function. That would be my #1 food to recommend, and spirulina. Nina says, what do you think about Dr. Kassar's protocol for skin cleansing? Okay or not? Is that how you spell his name, or is it another spelling? He uses alcohol. I think I know who you mean, but I think he spells his name a little differently. Lots of my health coach friends have used it. Skeptical due to not getting alcohol into the body. Yeah, I would not do it. I think I've seen this protocol before. And Anthony doesn't think that driving supplements like MSM and silica into the skin that way is the best way to do it. So I would, steer away from that. Julie Carab is okay. Clara says, forgot to ask if ionic foot baths are good. No, they're not really helpful. They don't really work for that. Paige says, all natural makeup. I'm going to have a whole other call on that. That's like such a common question. I'm going to address it. I've just got so much else that I'm addressing right now, but I will, I promise. Liz says, I got super cold in the winter months. Like super cold. Is that detox? Yes, your liver is letting go and detoxing big time when you start to feel all that cold, because all your energy goes inside your body, and the liver is healing, and that's what causes you to get super cold. Also, the adrenals can cause those temperature fluctuations. Marat says, thank you so much. I appreciate the time to reply. You're welcome. Paige says, concerning the skin aging, does it ever improve after detoxing? Totally does. I had terrible skin, and I think my skin's much better now. So Capella, hi Capella. What causes sudden anaphylactic reaction to food? Gluten for me. I'm 40 and I've healed so much in Anthony's protocols, but I'm curious if I can heal this. And what caused it to happen so suddenly after 40 years? Anything can cause it. Like any overload of a toxin can come into you, and suddenly you start having that reaction, and the body can't cope anymore. So that's why it gives you that immune response that's so severe. Once you heal, I mean, it depends on how much you heal and how deep you go. You can really reduce allergic reactions. I've seen them being reduced. I've even seen someone's anaphylactics being reduced in severity. They still had some of those symptoms, but it was reduced in severity quite a bit. Okay, what can help osteoporosis in the hip? Read the chapter on arthritis in the Medical Medium book, Renee, and follow those protocols. I would definitely bring in some MSM, which is good for the joints. I would bring in silica. I would do a lot of antiviral herbs for those things, and make sure you have the basics down, like the zinc and the B12 are really important. Yeah, Nina, if you've misspelled the name, I think I know exactly who you mean. Robert, right? Robert Kassar. I don't personally recommend it because I would not put alcohol on my skin. I mean, I've spoken with Nadine Artemis from Living Libations, who's basically a skin, teeth, nails, hair expert she is. And I would not put alcohol on my skin. There's no alcohol in any of her products. Alcohol is aging to the skin over time. And so I don't recommend that. So Irene says, is it okay to take Omega Zen and Omega Zen EP and DHA? Yes, it is. It's actually recommended a lot of times. Diane says, what's the cause of essential tremor, shaking of hands, head, limbs, etc.? It's usually a virus in the brain, along with a whole amalgam of heavy metals that causes that. Does Bigfoot exist? I'm sure it does, Hippie May. I mean, there's lots of stories about it, right? Lots of anecdotes about that. When there's lots of anecdotal evidence for stuff like that, I feel like there's definitely something going on that people can't pinpoint. And then with science, you're like, wait, that doesn't exist or whatever. But I believe that, certain stories carry some truth in them. Anyway, Irina says, what do you think about magnetic mattress pads? No, don't use those. They pull the heavy metals from where you are in the body near them, and that's about it. Don't do that. Renee, you're welcome. Mulaney, if one takes part in the cleanse, will support be available as far as what supplements one needs? A basic support will be available, not an in-depth one. So you will be able to get a little bit more than we can do here, but like dosages are hard to do over there because we really need to do a reading on you. Like I would not feel comfortable recommending dosages to somebody without having their whole history and their whole background, and without doing a reading and understanding deeply what's going on with them. When I do sessions for people, I really spend time connecting, almost 20 minutes per person that I connect with every day before I get on the phone, to really feel what's going on and to read your forms and read all the information and to help you from there on. So you can definitely get better support, but it won't be like a full-on reading. I just want to make that clear. Okay, so Pat. Hi, Pat. I haven't seen you in a while. What does it mean when you start to get white patches on your skin? It could mean several things. It could mean the liver is healing and letting out some toxins. It could mean that you've got some impetigo going on. It could mean a whole bunch of things. I wouldn't be able to say exactly until I had a reading done. Nina says, thank you so much for this insight. I had the gut feeling that alcohol is a no-no. On skin, yes, it's definitely a no-no. And Mulaney, that's understandable. You're welcome. I would love to be able to give you deeper insight if I could, I promise. Hey, Gabby, what's the most important thing for a toddler with cerebral palsy? Heavy metal detox is very important. So is viral detox. They're both implied in there. How do I revise the report I filled out when booking an appointment with you? I need to add a few things. Julie, just go back and fill out another form and say part 2. Habime, how does one treat Morgellons? You got to get super clean with Morgellons with diet, like completely no fat, low fat. Like I would do no fat, no grain, mostly fruits, low fat, high raw vegan. And I would bring in all of the viral supplements. I would bring in, it's a tricky one, Morgellons, but yeah, maybe ask me in the practitioner group. I can go more there. All right. So Emily says, do zappers or Rife machines actually help destroy pathogens by frequency? I've asked Anthony that question, and he told me that they don't really help, because otherwise we'd all be on them and all of our viruses would be gone, but I guess not, right? So it hasn't all cleared. So they don't, I mean, I have a zapper I've used for years, and I don't think it cleared my viruses. Kaneen says, hey, hello. So, hey, you guys, I think I answered nearly everyone's questions. Again, if you have more questions about the cleanse, or you have more questions just about your own general health, you know, you're welcome. I'm going to be on live. Tomorrow is Friday, so I'm going to be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So I know a lot of people are back from work by that time, and some people have a hard time catching this in the middle of the day. So if you have more questions, and you have family members with questions, or you have, you know, friends with questions, please tell them about this, because really, it's really to support all of you and to start getting people, like, even like to plant a seed in someone who's never heard of this before, to get them thinking about it is so important. To think about, like, diet can make such a difference. And you guys, you know how Anthony always talks about the helping hands? You guys are the helping hands. You guys are like the people who take this information and then go enthusiastically share it with everybody else. And that's how we're going to change the world. I'm not kidding you. If you think you're this one person who's not going to have any effect, I can tell you, you're one person yourself. You're having a crazy effect on everybody around you, and by sharing this information. And it spreads like wildfire. Even the idea that you can heal, you know, the idea that fruits and vegetables are powerful for healing is so important. And I'm just so grateful to all of you who consistently, like, show up here again and again and again and trust us and you know, let us guide you, because that's an honor. I never take that other than completely seriously. Means a lot to me personally. And I'll be on the weekend, and I'll be on until about next Monday doing lives, and maybe Tuesday, I think. But check out the schedule. We sent it out on email. If you're not on my email list, please sign up. If you go to my website, there's right at the very top, there's a place where you can sign up to be on the email list, to know what we're up to know the events, to know what's going on. We plan to be doing a lot more connection type activities with you all, so help you feel supported. The cleanse is there if you want that additional support. You know, like I said, support is critical for making someone successful. And it's something I love to do. I mean, I absolutely live to and love to. And I posted something the other day. I want to share something a little personal. I posted something the other day, yesterday night. It's a song, actually, and it's Nina Lee. She's one of my favorite artists. I absolutely love her voice, and I love her writing. And she shares about this incredible song, and it's called Birthright. And I don't know if you all know, but I'm a pianist, and I'm a singer. And when I had asthma, you know, I really couldn't sing for a long time because I just didn't have the breath support to sing. And it's such a huge, like, part of my being is music, because I've played for 30 years and I played a lot. So I just want to say, maybe one day I'll play for you guys. Who knows? Or I'll sing for you guys. But I listened to that song and it moved me to no end. And so I'm going to post the lyrics up because I think it's amazing for the time that we're in. And I know she talks about birth, but it's so applicable to health too. And it talks about all the women who are, you know, women who are rising and who are coming together, and how we're here for such a specific purpose, and we're here to help each other, and we're the wise ones, and we're the ones who are, you know, we're going to change the generations. And this song moves me. I can't even sing it without crying. I played it on the piano this morning. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I got my kids out the door, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to play. And I started playing and playing and playing. I just played it over and over again. I started crying, and I'm going to start crying now. It's such a powerful song. So hopefully at some point during these lives, I'll be able to share that with you. Anyway, I can't wait to connect with you all deeper and connect on the cleanse if you choose to do it. Again, my blessings. Have a blessed day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.